Mundaka is a town and municipality located in the province of Biscay, in the autonomous community of Basque Country, northern Spain. On the coast, Mundaka is internationally renowned for its surfing scene. Mundaka is accessible from Bilbao by EuskoTren on the Bermeo line. History. Mundaka is known as one of the most important places of the Lordship of Biscay. It was the birthplace of John Juria, the first Lord of Biscay, son of the Scottish princess who arrived in Mundaka escaping from an English king. The name of the town has Danish origin. It has been proven that the Vikings arrived there 900 years ago. According to the history of the lordship, Mundaka has the oldest temple of Biscay. As a result, it has the first seat of the General Parliament. The port is in the center point of the town. From the old part of the town grew. All the houses are medieval, fishermen's houses, always looking to the sea. The anti-glacier of Mundaka was already mentioned in the year 1051 in the donation of the Dominion of Biscay to the monastery of San Milandrola, Cogolla, and in 1070 in the donation of the aforementioned church to the monastery of San Juan de la Peña. Heraldry. Shield. The coat of arms of Mundaka is formed by an oak in a gold farm with a wolf, surrounded by a chess game. Flag. Red silk with gold thread embroidery. Toponym. There is a well-known legend that attributes the name Mundaka to the Latin phrase Munda Aqua. This legend appears in the Chronicle of Biscay written by Lope Garcia de Salazar in the 15th century. According to this story, a ship from Scotland carrying a princess who had been banished from her homeland arrived on the coast of Mundaka. The Scots called the place, in the Latin language, Munda Aqua, since that they had found a source of very clean water that contrasted with the murky waters of the estuary of Erdeby. This princess would have a son who would come to be called John Juria and would become, according to legend, the first lordship of Biscay. This legend may also explain why Mundaka is ranked first among the anti-glaciers of Biscay. Apart from legendary explanations, the etymology of Mundaka is uncertain. The first written mention of Mundaka dates from 1070, when it was referred to as Mundaka. Ego momi nunc placid in animus meis mito in sancti Johannes Oriolid Aragon uno monasterio in Bicaga in locum quaedus to Mundaka. Some have sought a Norse origin for the name, based on the likely presence of a medieval Viking settlement in the area. In Danish, Mund means mouth and Haka means promontory, cape. Mundaka lies precisely at the mouth of the estuary of the same Oka River. Others have related the name Mundaka to a stock of Basque toponyms with the endings aka et eka, eka, which are especially abundant in Biscay and which can be linked with the Celto-Italic suffix aka. To some, the origin of the name would be much older and it could be traced back to an era in which Biscay could have been populated by Celtic people. Traditionally, the name was written as Mundaka, but nowadays it is more commonly written as Mundaka, which is an adaptation to the modern rules of spelling of the Basque language. Mundaka is usually regarded as the formal name in Castilian and Mundaka in Basque. Since 1982, the official name of the municipality has been Mundaka. The new denomination was published in Boletin Oficial del Estado in 1989. The demonym is Mundaquas in Spanish and Mundakara Basque. Mundaka, like Municipal, stem munio, mundio, which means hill, hillock, aka is a suffix known as slope, as also is eka and eka. And seeing where Mundaka is located, this is very logical. Slope of the entangled of the hill. Note the similarity of mundi and mendi, as well, meaning a hill and a mountain. Physical geography. Mundaka borders to the west with the town of Bermeo, to the south with Pedernales, and to the east and north with the Cantabrian Sea. The island of Isaro and the extensive Leda Arenal are located off its coast. The municipal area is concentrated around the port, at the feet of Mount Catiozu and the Alto de Petrocol. On the beach in Ledzu flows the stream Arakatzu. Its coastal location allows you to enjoy a mild climate both in summer and in winter, with infrequent frost. Access by road from Bilbao, N631, from Amorebieta, N635. Railway Bilbao-Bermeo line, bus Bilbao-Bermeo, Puerto Mundaka. In summertime, a ferry connects the town with the beach of Leda. Population. The area has been populated since the Lower Paleolithic, as attest the caves of Santimamín on the other side of the estuary and deposits found in Portuondo. There are speculations with the arrival in the area of Vikings, who according to some authors justify the presence of blonde types of blue eyes on the Basque coast, unlike the Basque type of interior. Anton de Corica asserts its presence in the 9th century based on Arabic chronicles, medieval stories and other anthropological data, while John Wierasti believed to have actually been a few exiled Saxons dethroned by the Vikings. Before them the Romans arrived attracted by the marble of Ereno and whose presence bears witness to a branch of Roman roads in Balmaceda that reaches Bermeo. Since the first census that has news until the 1900s, the population increased, reaching 2,284 residents in 1910, with different ups and downs due to various avatars of the time. In the 1950s, the population had already dropped to 1,500 residents, stabilizing the successive censuses around 1,650 inhabitants. Since 1990, the town shows a slight positive trend. Government. The municipal power, while the immunity of Biscay continued, was exercised by the inhabitants. These were the only ones who could adopt ordinances, usages and customs that were to govern themselves, due to the nature of autonomous community and without having to submit to the terms for the granting of the Charter Puebla, as happened to the villas. Thus, all Mundacases, including the widows who were head of the family and could vote, gathered in assembly or stop-crossed to achieve their agreements, chairing the faithful alderman. Between the faculties of the faithful was the representation of the autonomous community in the county councils of Biscay until they ceased to meet, due to the abolition of immunity in 1876. Since then, the post became known as mayor. Since the transition, the Basque Nationalist Party governs the town hall with an absolute majority. Municipal Elections 2011. 4 parties stood in the 2011 municipal elections: EAJPNV, Bildu, PSEE and PP. These were the results: EAJPNV 756 votes, Bildu 451 votes, PSEE 21 votes, PP 8 votes. This gave PNV control of the council. Bildu, a pro-Basque independence coalition, won 3 seats, while PSEE and Popular failed to achieve representation due to the low number of votes obtained. Supramunicipal organizations: Basque Heráldica Water Consortium, Association of Social Services of Biscay, Regional Abattoir, Committee of Mountain Farming Guernica Bermeo, Uramendi, Board of Trustees of the Urdaibai Biosphere Reserve, Association of Basque Municipalities EUDEL, Center for Enterprise Development and Industrial of Biscay, Center of Professional Initiation Guernica Bermeo, Local Charity Board. Economy. Unemployment. In 1999, there were 58 people registered at INEM, which meant a decrease of 34% over the previous year. Primary sector. The village has been fundamentally devoted to the fishing and maritime trade since ancient times, having hosted an important guild of fishermen. Currently, fishing activity has gone down significantly, leaving no fishermen in the village. Secondary sector. The industrial tradition of the locality is non-existent with the exception of a shipyard, whose lands were destined for the construction of housing at the end of the 20th century. A canning industry was installed in 2002 in Mundaka next to the port of Bermeo. In 2003 the estate Lamiran with 30.732 square meters of industrial land was opened. Tertiary sector is currently the booster of the economy of Mundaka, mainly in summer when the population reaches fivefold. Mundaka has 24 bars, 8 restaurants and 3 hotels, as well as a campsite of first category with bungalows. The summer season extends during the fall with the arrival of the practitioners of surf. Distinguished locals. John Zuria, according to the legend, First Lordship of Vizcaya, Lord of Biscay. Francisco I, Earl of Lazaraga, Admiral of the Navy. Rodrigo of Portuondo, Marine. José Manuel Echeta, writer, Euskalden, and ship's captain. Last Spanish mayor of Manila. Ramon Mendez, owner, historical communist militant. Gregorio Blasco, football goalkeeper. Jaime SanchoPanzaXXI Lamas, IV Bishop of Campeche in 1910. He was born in Mundaka on the 23rd of May in 1863. D. Miguel Antonio de SanchoPanzaXXI Lamas and Doña Maria Antonia Margarita de Jesus Lamas Santos Coy. He died 3 October 1910 in Campeche. Eduardo Jiménez, writer of Basque literature. Arati Jiménez, author of Basque literature. Bernardo Maria Garro Basterecchia, Haute Calois, writer and translator regarding Vida Gallique, culture and tourism. Cuisine. The main dish of its kitchen is by maritime tradition, fish, and especially the base of Mundaka. Monuments and unique buildings. Library. Old hospital for pilgrims of the Camino de Santiago, traveled by those landing in Bermeo. Chapel of Santa Catalina, 19th century, situated on the peninsula that bears its name and the walls that surround it. Remains of a fort of the 19th century. St. Mary's Church, located in the vantage point of the village, with its back to the sea. Its construction began in Romanesque style in the 10th century, but it gives rise to a new Gothic plant in the 16th century after its destruction. Its interior is of an undeniable artistic value. A nave and 3 equal sections to cover, surely a neoclassical and neo-Gothic tower of the 19th century. Cross of Curcio, 17th century, located in the square that bears its name. Society Fraternity Mundaka, Palace of Larinaga, Old Town, next to the port. Town Hall. Natural spaces located in the north end of the Biosphere Reserve of Urdaibai. The town has 2 exceptional viewpoints in the high part of Portuondo and the vantage point of the town, from which you can see the sands and the mouth of the Mundaka estuary. This is the starting point of the path which goes back the up to estuary Guernica. Sports. Surfing. Mundaka is well-renowned worldwide for its quality of surf. Huge swells roll in from the Bay of Biscay and slam into the rocky coastline of the Basque Country. The estuary at Mundaka has created a perfect sandbar which forms hollow waves that can be watched from the town's harbour wall. Mundaka was formerly one of the sites of the World Championship Tour of Surfing. Some great surfers have marked the legacy on Mundaka, such as Andy Irons, Taj Burrow, Bobby Martinez, Kelly Slater, Mark Oxlupo and Joel Parkinson. Parties and events. Carnival Sunday, Eratist, 23 June, Midsummer of San Juanada, bonfire and burning of the witch, serving ancestral rites prior to Christianity to the sound of the Texas 2. The 29th of June, San Pedro, feast. The 22nd of July, Magdalena. Last week of August, Euskaldja, costumes, craft market, music, exhibition of Basque rural sports, Basque pelota, etc. The 1st of November, Texac holiday. The 25th of November, Catherine Party Isla de Santa Catalina.